What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 126 of the Nonsense Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me, equally as always, is Rick.
Hello, everyone.
Today we're going to be looking at a bit of a classic cartoon by most people's standards, but before we get into that, those of you familiar with the podcast know what we like to do is talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, we've done a couple of things. Most recently, last night, we went to see the Barbie movie, which I believe you have yet to see.
Yeah, I'm going to see that tomorrow. It looks like the more fun of the two films that are currently out.
Yeah. It was basically something that no one could have expected. Like, no one expected it to be what it is, and I can't say much more without going too deep into spoiler territory, so I won't.
Very quickly, I do know that very early on in the film, there's a part where Barbie just randomly talks about death because some certain politically aligned folk were complaining about it on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that's part of the plot.
By the way, as well, I just want to point out, I don't usually talk about the cunt because he doesn't deserve the attention, but have you seen Ben Shapiro get pushed off the literal deep end with his hatred for the Barbie movie for no discernible reason?
I have not.
He's like, I've been forced to watch the Barbie movie and I've broken it apart in my scathing 43-minute review on YouTube, which I've not watched and I'm not going to because I don't give a fuck. But now he's taken to the streets and is burning Barbie dolls.
Is he at least buying the Barbies?
I haven't got to... Well, I've got to assume he's attained them via legal means because, you know, he's an upstanding, respectable gentleman, I say, while barely containing my guffaws.
Yeah. I mainly know this guy from him being the one that gave Gina Carano a job after she got un-Disneyed.
Oh, fair. Like, the guy's a wanker. It's like, he's one of those people who, you know, he makes his money by grifting on that type of fan base, which is the right-leaning MAGA hats in America.
Yep, the red hats. But yeah, I enjoyed the time that I spent. I had to nudge both my mum and my dad because they both fell asleep.
That's fine. As far as I'm aware, your mum and dad have a tendency to fall asleep during most movies.
Yeah, they both fell asleep during Inside Out. Neither of them understood the movie because they fell asleep, and both of them hated it because they didn't understand it. So, you know, there's a direct correlation between the three right there.
Yeah.
Another thing that happened is that I have just been made aware that Harley Quinn has started up its season 4.
Oh, fuck me. So blink and you miss it, because I thought they'd only just wrapped up season 3.
Oh, season 3 was a while ago.
Well,
season 4 started. It's up to episode 3 on Max, so I've been catching up on that. But the last thing I did was I also am now the proud owner of an irresponsible number of cans of Mango Monster.
Yeah, you said you grabbed like 36, and that number quickly dropped to 35.
It did. The number is now 34. The last thing that happened is that one Sinead O'Connor, singer of Nothing Compares to You, has passed away. Will be missed by many. She was one who spoke out against
the Catholic Church and their crimes.
Yeah, abuse of children in the Catholic Church. She was blacklisted from Saturday Night Live for tearing up a photo of the Pope.
Well, it's one of those where she got fucked over for doing that, and yet, you know, there's a reason why people don't speak up against the church, because their crimes are numerous, their crimes are horrible, and yet they are still powerful enough to make your life miserable.
The roots seep deep.
It's one of those where she passed away at the age of 56. Allegedly suicide. I didn't dig too deep into it because I heard this news while coming home at the end, coming home from work, which is 10 o'clock at night, and it came up on the news, and I just went, what the fuck?
Yes.
Because it was just so out the fucking blue. She's had fucking issues with mental health, and she's not been shy about sharing her story, and it's just tragic all the way down, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, heart goes out to her loved ones, and she'll be sorely missed. But yeah, that's enough about me and what I've seen in the universe. How have you been? Or what have you done out in the wide world?
Life's been fun. I've got an infected foot. That's always a good time.
Yeah, it is.
I've been given 2 grams of fucking antibiotics to take every day, which I've been told is a lot.
It is, man.
But Rick, my Photobucket account has been deactivated. Lol.
Oh, okay.
I got a random fucking email the other day saying, hey, Devon, we've realised that you've not used your Photobucket account for a long time, so we've chosen to deactivate it. If this is a mistake, please contact us. And I'm just reading it going, fucking Photobucket still exists?
Yep. Oh, speaking of things being deactivated, I'm pretty sure you have a Ubisoft account, don't you?
I'd assume so.
Make sure to log into it, because if you don't, they will delete your account and all of your games.
Oh, that's fine. My games are on PlayStation for Ubisoft.
Sure. I have one game on a Ubisoft account, and it's Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh, the best one.
Yeah, the good one.
I don't know. I did like Valhalla, but hey ho, diddly do. But yeah, Photobucket's weird because the only reason I used it is back in the old school days of the internet, where every website forum was its own forum and not condensed into Reddit. In order to get a profile picture, you needed to copy a link from Photobucket. You couldn't just upload directly to the website. So yeah, that's how long ago it's been since I used Photobucket.
For me, it was GeoCities.
I mean, same thing, different skin, right?
I think GeoCities was Yahoo's little bit of storage. You got like a 2 megabyte worth of storage to make a website that you could just do whatever you liked with it. And most of what I did was I put up a couple of JPEGs. I made them GIFs because you could make those transparent. This is before the days of PNGs. And yeah, those were profile pictures.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, it was just very weird. Much like you saw Barbie, I was on the other end of the spectrum. I watched Oppenheimer.
Yeah, you did.
It's a damn good fucking movie. It didn't feel like 3 hours.
That's about as glowing a statement as you can get for a movie like that.
Well, because I loved the Batman movie, the one with Robert Pattinson, but it felt like a 3-hour fucking movie. Whereas Oppenheimer, the time flew. All the actors did a stellar job. I at no point thought I was looking at watching Cillian Murphy talk to Robert Downey Jr. I was fully immersed. So kudos to everyone involved.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, I'll repeat what I said to you, Rick. It was a great movie. Loved every minute of it. Do not regret seeing it. I don't want to see it again, though.
Sure.
It feels like very much a one and done film. Like, you've watched it, you've consumed it. I'm sure there are some people who would love to go back and watch it again, but not for me. Also, fuck me, is that film loud? It frightened the fuck out of me on 2 occasions just from loudness.
Yeah, fair enough.
Rick, you ready for some news?
Yeah, let's go with the news.
So Twitter's called X now.
Yeah, it is. I thought this was a glitch. So
I thought it was a joke, but apparently Elon Musk was serious, and we're going to have some fun going down the road because this has been a barrel of fuck-ups, which is kind of how you could describe Elon Musk's acquisition in general, but hey-ho diddly do. The trademark for X is owned by not one, but 2 different people for 2 different reasons, both of which are ways Elon Musk is trying to use it. Now, usually, you look at this situation and you go, well, Elon Musk is a multi-billionaire, he'll probably just pay his way out of it. However, the 2 companies that both own the trademark are one, Microsoft, and Meta, which is the company that is Facebook.
Yes.
He's not going to be able to buy his way out of that one. And also, goddamn, the amount of tweeting at Elon Musk just going, so what, are we Xing X's on X? Because, what the fuck? Like, one of the few things Twitter had going for it is it was recognisable and it was easy to use. And ease of use has gone down since Elon took over. And now people don't even know what the fuck to call it.
Yep, the website is still has the Twitter URLs. Obviously it does, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get to it. But yeah, he says, oh yeah, your tweets are now X's. The gag that I saw was when he was trying to find a logo that would become his X, and someone just replied with the Confederate flag. But yeah, I think Microsoft is the one that can defend it the most vehemently, because they've been using Xbox as their main platform to interact with youths for quite some time. So X is like part of their brand at this point.
It's one of those where they've both companies that can contend it have got fuck you money, and we already know that Zuckerberg doesn't like Elon Musk, so
yeah.
It doesn't end there either. They tried to rebrand a building in, I want to say it was New York, but I can't remember the exact city, to put X on the side as opposed to Twitter, and they took all the stuff down, and then the police turned up and told them they didn't have the permits to do this, so they couldn't replace the sign.
Oh yes, all they had left was the ER of Twitter, so it's just
Rick, the world is on fire, and those pesky millennials keep blaming global warming like a bunch of idiots.
Oh, yes.
We've had horror stories this entire week. Britain's avoided it for the most part right now, but there's no guarantee we're not going to get some of the aftermath. But anyway, that's me waffling, sorry. Yeah, there's parts of the Mediterranean that are literally on fire. They've got wildfires. Italy has issued health warnings for much of their citizens. Spain has always been hot, and it's hotter than ever. They recorded the highest recorded temperature in Death Valley in the States. The world is burning.
Oh, yeah.
It's on fire. And I've seen multiple articles which are admittedly biased as fuck saying, basically having a pop at millennials for saying, this is global warming, this is what we've been taught about since we were 2. And people laughed. Oh, those stupid millennials. It's just nature. It's fine. It's fine. I can see the Mediterranean Sea. It's burning.
Yeah. What came to my attention was that people are being rescued from where they are in Europe to come home to the UK on like extra flights that wouldn't normally exist.
It's the opposite. They're not flying to certain places.
Yeah, so the normal flights are not flying. These extra flights are there basically just to rescue people. And people are complaining that expats are also getting on these flights. And my response to that is, why would someone not want to rescue someone from being burned to flames?
Well, I've not heard any of this story, so I don't know how much of it is hyperbolic.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we finally get a still image and a release date for Iron Claw.
Okay.
This is a movie I'm very much looking forward to, mostly because it might bring a bit more attention to wrestling.
Yeah.
Iron Claw is a biopic type film on the famous Von Erich wrestling family, and I'm looking forward to it. It stars Zac Efron as Kerry Von Erich, who... I'll put it this way, Rick. The Von Erichs inside of the ring were fucking excellent. I don't think anyone can complain about them. Outside of the ring, well, let's put it this way. People call it the Von Erich curse.
Fair enough.
These guys had a tragedy. Now, I want to stress the Von Erichs were a bit before my time. They were very big in the 80s. I knew Kerry Von Erich very briefly when he was the Texas Tornado, because I used to watch old VHS tapes when I was a kid. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope people get to understand why people have a fascination with wrestling. And yeah, I think it's going to be a decent fucking movie, because it's a hell of a story to tell.
Yes, absolutely.
Rick, we're doing Animaniacs today.
We are. This is something we've been kind of looking forward to. I don't have the episode title. There are 3 episode titles here, aren't there?
Yeah, we've got Desanitized, The Monkey Song, and Night Night Tune. This isn't just Animaniacs, this is also like Pinky and the Brain and their other escapades, but the episode as a whole is classed as Animaniacs, so that's why we're doing it.
So, if you'd like to watch along with us at home, it's Season 1, Episode 1. 3, 2, 1, and go.
I think my biggest memory of Animaniacs is probably a lot of people's biggest memory, and that is the map song.
Oh, yes. I don't remember the song, but I remember how it...
And the ultimate joke being that he missed one.
Yeah.
So it's Wacko, Yakko, and Dot, isn't it?
Yeah, the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister Dot.
What a fun concept for a cartoon, though.
Yeah. That you take the name of your company and turn it into characters. Oh yeah, it was Steven Spielberg as well, wasn't it?
I didn't know that. But yeah, fair enough. There we go. Wacko's the one who tried to who did the map song, and for some reason he sounds very much like Ringo Starr.
He does. I don't know why.
Nah.
Because the other two are American.
Yeah. Were you confused the first time you saw the word Benoni written down? Because I sure as fuck was.
Yeah, Bologna.
Yeah. I remember reading it and going, what the fuck's Bologna?
Yeah, it rhymes with pony, so you can have a bologna pony or a Bologna pogna.
That sounds like a disease.
It sounds like a bootleg Pokemon.
I guess. I can't tell if
So,
he sounds very German or if he sounds very Jewish.
I mean, at a certain point in time, both would be true.
No, yeah, but you know what I mean, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I get you.
That is one of my favourite jokes, is someone stuttering for a while and then just going, fuck it, and changing the word they were going to say.
Yeah. Jimmy does it in South Park a lot.
Oh, yeah. Was that Ronald Reagan, by the way?
I looked at, yeah.
Biggest
That
scumbag in
looks like
politics.
Gomez Adams.
Oh, yeah. That was Jack Nicholson. Which Batman? Is that got to be Keaton, right?
He's been here for 50 years, so it could be any of them up till then.
Alright, but it didn't look like Adam West, it looked like the Keaton Batman.
Yeah, with the iron nipples.
No, that was George Clooney.
Oh, it was George Clooney. Okay.
I don't really know how water towers work, because I thought they constantly collected water, so wouldn't they have drowned before now?
Ideally, yes, but it seems to be that the water tower is not a working water tower.
Okay. The character design does look better with hair.
He does a bit. Good old Hello Nurse.
Right, yep, forgot. Forgot about that gag.
She's been removed from the reboot, I believe.
She doesn't really add much. Like, she exists to continue a single joke.
Mm-hmm. She's the Miss Bellum of Animaniacs, except Miss Bellum actually did something.
I was going to say, Miss Bellum wasn't just eye candy. There's nothing wrong with appreciating an older member of the opposite sex. As long as you're not a child, which I'm not sure if Dot is or not.
She acts like one.
They all act like children.
Yeah. Although they've been locked in the tower for 50 years, so they technically shouldn't be children anymore, but, you know, cartoons are cartoons.
I wouldn't feel comfortable having a wank over Dot, I'll put it that way.
No.
Why is this the psychiatrist's problem?
I don't know.
Jesus. Okay, it is very realistic and believable that someone's just like, oh, this person's so smart, so fuck it, they should be able to do whatever I tell them.
Yep. Also, maybe potentially completely misunderstanding what a psychiatrist is. I think it's just a specialist in psychos.
Well, it's also like, well, kind of. It's also one of those where there's a comic and I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of those fucking Dilbert comics, which apparently the creator's a complete tosspot or whatever. Where he's sitting at his desk and his boss just comes in and goes, "Oh, I want a new insert technical term," and Dilbert just goes, does he actually want me to make that, or has he just read it in a book somewhere? So he just goes, "What colour would you like such and such?" "I think blue." And then Dilbert knows, oh, right, he just read it somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, do you remember this trend of like companies turning everything into raps?
No. I think it might have been before my time, Rick.
Yeah, it must have been an early 90s thing.
Well, yeah, because you mentioned the fucking poker rap that Ant and Dec did that one time. And that was before I was, aware of the universe.
Yeah, SMTV Live will make your potty tough. Don't be a Jigglypuff.
Yeah. Slightly homophobic, but whatever.
Well, I mean, Jigglypuff is a Pokemon.
Yeah, but they tried to make it sound like you was calling someone a puff.
Don't be a Jigglypuff, oh yeah.
For those of you who don't know, in Britain, I don't know if it gets used very much often nowadays, because bear in mind, this is a word I learnt from my dad, who was old. But puff/puffter is a derogatory term for gay man.
Yep. Both spelled the original way of Puff, and also Pouff.
I've only ever said like puff has always been spelt Poof in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bear in mind, I use the word puff still in this day and age, but I've never meant it to mean a gay person. It's like, stop being a bloody puff, as in, do the fucking thing and shut up.
Oh, the Louis C.K. way of using faggot.
Yeah, but obviously I didn't see that bit until way after the fact.
But it's also applicable to puff.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, I didn't know that. Don't forget, South Park did an entire episode on that concept. With the bikers. Well, what if I'm thinking of getting a motorbike, but not entirely sure? Well, then you're bike curious.
Curious.
That's a great gag. Fuck you. You know what? I've never seen someone tear their hair out in anger in real life.
I have tugged at my hair in frustration.
That's fair. This is how trans people should fucking act. Like, this is my name now. Call me my former name and I will stab you. Is that an okay thing to say, or am I being a dick?
Well, it varies from trans person to trans person.
No, obviously some trans people don't give a fuck, but I assume a fair few of them probably don't like being called what they used to be called. Barring slips of the tongue, because slips of the tongue happens. I think intent is always important to take on board. Yeah.
It's one of those, like, I don't intentionally dead name people, but sometimes a person made a big impression on me when I first met them, and I associate fun times of life with the person they were at the time.
Okay.
And it's difficult for me to learn names at the best of times.
I mean, Rick, I was thinking about this just the other day, where how many times have I called you Matt and Chris by each other's names because my brain just doesn't work sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's the mum thing of cycling through every family member name.
I don't cycle through every name. It's just sometimes I go, Rick, stop that, and then it's like I'm talking to Matt and you're not there, and it's like, sorry, I'm used to yelling at Rick. I'm joking, of course. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's someone's describing something poorly or being annoying, so I instantly call them Matt because that's who I associate that action with. Oh, this is all a joke.
Yeah. It also reminds me of the bit on The Simpsons when Lisa's about to do something villainous.
Oh, yeah.
And Marge goes, Bart, no, and Bart's like right next to her, and she goes, what? And she goes, sorry, force of habit.
It's so true. Yeah, come to think of it, I don't think I've known anyone pre-transition and post-transition, so it's never been an issue for me.
Sure.
Why would you not shave at this point?
Well, it's the same day, so...
Yeah, but everyone's got fucking clippers. Now, I know he's a psychiatrist and he's trying to be professional, but at this point you just roll with it, surely.
Mm-hmm,
Like, he's meant to be an intelligent individual.
Yep. Now, if it weren't... leave. If it weren't for him tearing out the last bit, then he's got the amount of hair that he could use for comb over until then.
A comb overs rarely look good.
No, but at least it's iconic.
But he looks more iconic bald.
Sure.
Oh, good old cartoon physics to turn you into a rocket ship.
Yep. Goes past the moon, straight to Mars.
The monkey song. I think this is the pigeons. Weirdly. Yeah!
I forgot about the pigeons.
I saw them in the intro. That's the only reason why I remembered them.
Yeah, my video is desynced from my audio.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think this is an idiosyncrasy of me having to listen to the audio on the same channel as speaking to you over Discord.
Maybe so. Recording for Rick has been hell since his computer's gone fucked.
Yep.
He's had to do some bullshit he hasn't had to do since we first started.
Worse.
He's actually...
when we first started, it was more or less okay.
See, at this point, the fucking angry fucker's just being a dick because, like, he left him alone to play his flute somewhere else and then he decided to follow him.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the word fuck to come out.
So, do we know what species the Warners are meant to be?
We ain't got a clue. They're like Mickey Mouse creatures.
Well,
but you know what I mean, though, because like in all the old school cartoons, even cows look like this.
Yeah, the Mickey likes. It's like everything that's not specifically a creature is something like that. So generically canine.
Yeah. I guess they're meant to be monkeys.
Mammal. Yeah, maybe monkey.
They got tails.
They do.
I don't know what accent he was trying to do.
Hey, it's Slappy Squirrel.
Now, if you want to talk about early furry MILF vibes...
Okay, so Slappy Squirrel is top for that. However, Minerva Mink is also an Animaniacs character.
In my brain, they're the same character. I know they're not, but... That's not a good thing to do.
No, it's not. You're going to get toothpaste in the cuts, which is going to sting like fuck.
I will say that was a cute visual gags of the see no evil, hear no evil. We just had about a minute ago.
And Dot being the mermaid as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think too many cartoons as a child did that sort of joke, because I remember there was a fear when I was really young. I've got vague recollections of a fear of me going down the drain.
Yeah, getting sucked down the toilet, yeah.
Okay, I can't blame him for getting mad at that, because, you know. Someone slapped me in the face with an instrument, accident or no, I'd be a bit pissed.
Yeah.
I'd still be pissed even if it was...
with me.
Oh, yeah. Dickhead.
That's the first time we get to hear the Pinky and the Brain leitmotif.
Yeah. Pinky and the Brain's so popular they did get their own set of shows.
Yeah, so they got that. They also got Pinky, Elmira, and the Brain.
Okay.
Because someone on staff really liked Elmira. And the writers hated it.
Fair enough. Like, I don't feel like you'd get this nowadays of an entire, 4-minute segment that's just a musical number. in a cartoon.
Yeah, I think the most recent time I could think of that was Shapoopy in Family Guy.
That doesn't count.
Oh, it's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, well, yeah, but he voiced he's voiced every cartoon in existence. But yeah, you're right, it's literally just the same fucking voice.
He's doing his Winnie the Pooh voice.
Well, also Car from the Jungle Book, but it's the same voice, so I don't know why I'm picking.
Yeah.
That's not very nice. They're hippos. That's how big they be.
Yeah, they are.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Man, the number of people that do that take everything the wrong way, you know?
It's Little Man Syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Wasn't that one of Slappy's fears, actually, like being seen as being super old and actually going to a home or something?
Dude, I can't fucking remember. I get the character confused with Minerva Mink all the time.
Sure.
I remember during an assembly once in secondary school, we had the PE teacher say, "People aren't big boned, you're just fat," and one of the rugby players got really fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "No, I'm big boned," and it's like, by the by, this chap wasn't fat; he was just big. Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
I think there's a difference between fat and big.
Yeah. We had one guy who legitimately was big boned. He was like super skinny, but he was like 2 stone more than you'd expect for someone of that size.
Sure. I think the word I'm looking for is thick, but it feels wrong to describe a bloke as thick.
Yeah.
But like, he was built like a brick shithouse because he played fucking rugby.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he just got... I don't know why he got so offended, but I think because he'd been called... it might have been called names before.
Stout is a good word for it, usually.
Yeah, but he was tall, you know?
Yeah. A tall dwarf.
Okay.
Fantasy dwarf, sorry.
That doesn't sound okay to say. Man, it blows my mind how few people used to work on these old cartoons.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg was only the exec producer by the looks of it.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
But he had...
there was his logo at the end of the ET fucking on the bike, so...
Yeah, he slapped Amblin on it, so he must have been happy enough with it.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I think that was a good episode, Rick.
Yeah, it was alright. I remember vaguely, after watching it now, I remember the first time I watched this, because it was obviously the first episode, when it was introduced to us as a new thing on TV. I'm like, okay, this was alright, but future weeks when you saw it, the future week ones were generally better episodes, because there was basically only one real mini episode of this, and it was the introductory one of the 3.
Yeah, this served as pretty much a teaser for what you're going to get, because, as you rightly pointed out, the first episode took up most of the episode, and it was, this is the main trio, these are the Animaniacs. However, the song was introducing the extended cast, and then even the Nighty Night end segment was just hammering home the point of certain characteristics.
Yeah, I think the Nighty Night introduced the extended cast more than the song did. The song just, showed them. The Nighty Night actually told you who they were.
Yeah, but you get the general gist of what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
I think we both kind of covered what we thought of the episode, so let's get into the meat of our wind down, for lack of a better word. Rick, favourite moment?
I think it is actually the very opening shot showing how the Warners were created, like the whole black and white segment, and that they were locked away and all that, before we get the abridged version in the opening, as it were. But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
I think it's kind of cheating to say this, but I just like the song. Like, the song itself was annoying, but the visuals that went along with it were quite fun.
The monkey song, or
yeah, the song. There's only one song in the fucking episode, Rick. It took 4 minutes.
You say that, yeah, but also the opening credits is like an iconic song.
Guess what? I would have said the theme tune, Rick.
Yeah. The opening theme tune is so iconic that it was my runner-up in terms of favourite moment.
What's your favourite moment? The opening of the fucking show, which happens every week. Boo.
Yes.
Rick, I'm going to need a weakest link from you.
I think that outside of the opening segment, the other two were not as cool as they could have been. They weren't as funny. I'm putting it down to first episode blues, but the fact that the song and the night both did the same thing essentially, and just generally weren't as funny as the Dr. Scratch and Sniff segment. How about you? What was your weakest link?
Yeah, I think first episode blues is the best way of describing it, as usual. I'd actually argue the opposite, in that the first part of the episode was probably the least fun, because we only focused on it. I like the Animaniacs, I like the core trio, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the extended cast almost always has funnier bits.
Yeah, because you zoom in on them when you do, rather than all the time. Like, I think every episode has a Wacko, Yakko, and Dot segment, something funny, and then a zoom in on one of the other mini casts.
Yeah. Usually you get an Animaniacs, which is the core trio in my. When I say Animaniacs, I tend to mean Wacko, Yakko, and Dot.
Yeah.
And usually the other two bits are other cartoons.
So,
as you can see from the core formula from this episode, where the first segment was the longest at 12 minutes, and the other two were like 4 minutes each, maybe even less.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to the all-important moment, Rick. Let's hear it. Who's your MVP?
My MVP is going to be one Dr. Scratch and Sniff. He was basically the framing device for the first segment, and even in the ones after that, he was, important. Your comedy is often only as good as the straight man.
He's not a straight man.
And no, he's not. No, not anymore. Once they've had their way with him, as it were, in a comedic sense.
Oh no.
But yeah, his descent into madness was it was delightful. How about you? Who's your MVP?
I feel like it would be cheating to give the award to all three of the core trio, so I'm going to give it to Dot, because whenever they had a group comedy moment, she always seemed to be doing something to stand out from the other two. You pointed out the most, but like the subtle joke that didn't even need to be there of her being a fucking mermaid.
Yeah. It had no bearing on what was happening in the song. She just was a mermaid.
The hello nurse joke gets old real quick. I always find myself smiling because usually they use it in funny ways, like in the song they use it to quite perfection, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was used to rhyme. It was great.
But the first usage of it, where you had the two boys fantasizing about the girl, and then you got Dot, who's like, well, what am I supposed to do? So she fantasizes about Scratch and Sniff, and she just goes, It just feels like she got a bit extra joke-wise this episode.
Yeah. Between Dot and Scratch and Sniff, they tend to be... Like, Dot isn't so much the straight man, usually, because she's normally a perpetrator. But against the boys, when it's Hello Nurse time, she is the straight one.
Yeah, because she's always sick of it.
She's sick of it right from episode 0.
and it's kind of weird, because she's got no... she's sick of it because, I don't know. I don't really know what I was going to go with that, but she can't be jealous of the nurse, because those are her brothers.
Yeah, I think she is just sick of it.
I think she's just sick of it on her behalf because she's trying to be a professional and shit's hard.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, that brings us to a nice close, I think. Send the episode on a shit's hard, guys. But yeah, you know the drill by now. If you've made it this far, you're our favourite people. We love you. You've got the comment section down below on YouTube if you want to talk to us. Alternatively, if you're listening via one of our audio platforms, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. We look forward to hearing from you potentially. But join us again next week, where we're doing who knows what. We've yet to brainstorm, so you've got that to look forward to as well. Bye, guys.
Ta-ra.